Hi Capricorn, welcome to your Mercury Retrograde reading. And thank you for your patience. I meant to have these out yesterday and I had free help show up to wash the outside of my house. So, you know, when free help shows up, you gotta do it then. So I appreciate your patience. Why are we doing a Mercury Retrograde reading? Because we're a community full of people who look for signs. We look for signs for verification, confirmation, clarification, all that stuff. So, whenever Mercury is in retrograde, everything that Mercury governs kind of goes wonky because Mercury slows down to almost a stop. It doesn't actually go backwards, but it slows so far down, the other planets are passing it up, so it looks like it's going backwards. But everything that it governs kind of gets wonky. So, if we're in a new relationship or have started a new business or something like that, and communication starts breaking down, our technology starts breaking down, our text messages go to the wrong people or whatever, or don't get sent, we think, oh, that's a sign. I've been doing this for 6 months, everything's been working out fine, and now all of a sudden, all these problems, that's a sign. No, that's likely Mercury retrograde. So, that's why I'm doing it, because we look for signs. But if we know something else is the cause, then we know not to take it as a sign. Okay, so God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, we thank you so much for giving us the tarot as a tool and a roadmap to help us navigate the energies that come into our lives on a regular basis. We thank you for love, light, and prosperity. We thank you for clarification, confirmation, and validation. And we thank you for clear and concise messages. Show us what energies could be affected by Mercury retrograde for Capricorn as they navigate the retrograde from October 30th through November 20th. Show us what energies in health and wellness, in family and friends, in career and money, and in love. We thank you again for clear and concise messages, love, light, and prosperity, clarification, confirmation, and validation. Okay. Health and wellness. We have solitude. Family and friends, we have passion ignited. Career and money, we have mental conflict. And in love, we have positive movement forward. So these are the types of energies that could be affected during the retrograde in these categories. So while I'm shuffling, I want to tell you guys, when I got up this morning, this community was over 10,000 subscribers strong, and I want to tell you thank you. Each and every one of you are part of that, and I am humbled by the support, the encouragement, the love that you guys give to me, and y'all rock. That's all I can say. Y'all rock. Thank you so much. Okay, God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, show us clearly, clarify for us in health and wellness. Why do we get solitude? In family and friends, passion ignited. Show that to us, please. In career and money, clarify for us the mental conflict. And in love, please clarify for us the positive movement forward. Okay. So to clarify solitude, we're getting Two of Fire, Queen of Water, and the Magician. In family and friends, to clarify passion ignited, we're getting the Page of Water. We're getting the Three of Fire. And we're getting the Four of Earth. In career and money, to clarify mental conflict, we're getting the Ten of Fire. We're getting the 9 of air. And we're getting the Page of air. In love, to clarify positive movement forward, we're getting the 2 of air. We're getting the Tower. And we're getting the Page of earth. Okay. So, we're going to start over here with health and wellness and see what's going on. So, the overall energy in health and wellness that you're going to be revisiting is solitude. And whenever we go into solitude, it's about our whole, our mind, body, and soul. It's the wholeness, which is what health and wellness is about, okay? So they're saying that you've been doing some work, Capricorn, and you are at the stage right now where you have made some decisions and you have mapped some things out, right? You went in, you found your light, now you're shining your light, or about ready to shine your light. You have made some decisions, okay? You've mapped it out. This is what they're saying, that you have you have maintained or you have embodied emotional intelligence. You've embodied peace in your life. Look at this queen, how beautiful she is. Total peace on her face. She's not worried about what other people are thinking. She's not worried about anything at all because she has an understanding of how she presents herself in the world, and she's good with that. She's good with who she is. She's full of unconditional love for herself and others. She nurtures herself as well as others. She is good, right? So they're saying you spend a lot of time doing this, and you've mapped some things out for yourself in your own personal health and wellness category, and whatever that means for you. Here's where you are as a result of that. And they're wanting to remind you that as you move forward through retrograde, you are the magician. You are the creator of your life. You are the choreographer of your dance. The producer of your own movie, all that stuff. That's who you are in this. And they want you to remember that. What happens during retrograde, sometimes some old stuff might come back and revisit us, right? So whatever it is you did for yourself during this time, hermit mode, whatever it was that you did for yourself, some of the old stuff might tend to come back, and it's just saying, don't let it, because you've made some accomplishments. You've left hermit mode. You've gotten into this is who you are right now in this stage, right? And this is how they see you, that you've accomplished a lot, and they're wanting to remind you that this is who you are and what you have the capability of doing in your own life. Sometimes whenever we get tripped up and we allow doubt or discord or anything like that to settle into our mind, those thoughts, and we allow it to seep into our heart, then this emotional intelligence, because you are this, they're wanting to remind you that too, because they see you as emotionally intelligent. But sometimes, if something starts happening, we think, oh my gosh, it's a sign, and then that gets kind of shook up, this intelligence that we found about ourselves, this emotional intelligence. So I feel like they're saying that something may creep back in about some spiritual decision you made, some health decision you made, spiritual, mental, or physical, and they want you to remember that you are the creator of your reality. Okay. Our mind plays a huge role in the spiritual wellness and the physical wellness of our body. So I'm going to do a whole video on that. I started doing daily videos. I don't know if I tell you that or not yet. But I started doing daily videos. If you haven't seen any of them, check them out. And if you like them, make sure you hit the little bell notification so you'll know when another one's uploaded. If you don't like them, that's fine. Just pass it on by, but make sure you come back and watch your readings. So family and friends, we have passion ignited, right? So with passion ignited, it's the same as the Ace of Wands, right? It's like Spirit came down and handed you inspiration, passion, creativity, possibly about how you show up in your family life, and whether that be with your spouse and your kids, or with your extended family, your siblings, or however that means for you, your friends that you hang out with or that you work with, whatever that means for you, you have gotten some kind of understanding or new idea or creativity about how you can reiterate their value in your life, right? Because it's important to you. And look, this is the Page of Water. I love this card. It's like you have gone. This is how you're showing up in your family. It's like you whenever you're with them, it's like you leave work at work. And whenever you're with your family, it's all about your family. It's a childlike innocence and pureness whenever it comes to them. It's passion ignited whenever you're with your family. That's where your focus is, right? And they're saying this was a big step for you, Capricorn, because it's not who you normally are, but it is something that has recently been important to you to facilitate or to incorporate into your life. It was important to you for those that you love to know how much you love them, and you had to really make some changes to make that happen. But you're really excited about it because everybody's getting what they need, including you, right? You're not leaving yourself out. So they're saying that in Mercury retrograde, you might start to feel a little bit confined. And I really see that coming up here with the work. And we'll get to that in a second. But you might tend to feel a little bit confined. And that's what happens again in Mercury retrograde. Things that we've overcome or whatever might tend to come back and visit us a little bit. The reason, I think, well, because Mercury goes to sleep, but I think how that benefits us is that we finally put a solid stamp on this is how I'm living my life. Closed. Don't come back again, right? So you might start feeling confined, restricted whenever it comes to being able to continue that dedication to your family. So, but they're saying release it. See, this card right here is the same as the Four of Pentacles, which is the little guy all closed up. But in this deck, the Four of Earth, they're saying just release it. Release it where? Release it to the universe. Remind yourself of the work that you did. Remind yourself of how great you feel when this is the case, whenever you're interacting with your family and your friends in a carefree way, where you don't let work get into here. It's like your family's sacred. Your friends, the time you spend with your friends, it's all sacred to you. And you don't let the outside world get in. You don't let the worries of work and whatever else outside world worries are, you don't let them penetrate the wall to get into that. This is very sacred to you. So they're reminding you, whenever you start to feel confined, remember the work that you did. Remember how this feels, right? And then release it. So the reason that I feel like it does have to do with your work is because you're having some mental conflict right here, right? So let's just say you work for a big corporation or not, any kind of company, and they had been really taking advantage of your team spirit, your kindness, your willingness to go above and beyond. They had really been taken a lot of advantage of you in those areas, and you finally stood up with this other situation and said to them, no, I am doing what I came here to do. And you released all of that unfounded obligation that you had. It's one thing to go above and beyond. That's a noble thing to do. That is a very admirable trait for an employee to do that. But when an employer starts to take advantage of it, this starts happening, right? So it's like, no, I let all that go. Now, I'm using that scenario. This is a general reading. It could be anything. It could be your own business, and it could be you started your own business and you got so caught up in it that you felt like you were neglecting other people that were important to you. So you had to put the brakes on yourself for yourself and your family, right? See, it's logical in our mind that the harder we work, the more effort we put in, then the more benefit that our family gets. But this is something, see all this little yellow around here? This is something that you had an epiphany about a while back. And you took this red right here. It's the color of the root chakra, right? That's that left brain. That's where the logic comes in. The red is the color of the root chakra, which is about our foundational beliefs about security, how we get our sustenance, safety, and all that stuff. How we show up, what it takes to be successful. All that stuff is all in the root chakra. And you had an epiphany about it. And this passion to be more involved or more present with your friends and with your family. And so you let a lot of stuff go. I don't mean you let go of the importance of what you were doing. I don't mean you slacked on your job. I just mean that you decided that no longer were you going to work yourself to death in an effort to accomplish something that you could accomplish. You got real creative that you could accomplish without doing all that. So whenever you did this, when you let that go, you put that burden down of how you used to think you had to do, you made peace. They're saying you made peace with all that. That this is the 9 of air, which is the same as the 9 of swords, right? So it's like you rose above it. The 9 of swords is what used to keep you up at night. Guys, can you imagine the conflict? The conflict that we create in our own minds whenever we worry about things like, I was a working mom. Sometimes I'd be at work worrying about or feeling guilty because I wasn't at home or I couldn't go to the school play or whatever. And whenever I was home with the kids or I went to the school play, I was worrying about why I wasn't at work. What was going on at work with me not there? Or was this client going to get taken care of? It's like a constant battle. But Capricorn, it's like you did something and it probably had to do with this right here. And you overcame all of that. So, but it feels like it's been a recent thing, like within the last year or so, or the last 6 months or so. And it's like in this Mercury retrograde, it looks like something is going to come back up to make you revisit, not make you, but cause you to revisit all of those same issues again. And so they're saying, remember the work you did. Remember what you let go. Remember how you overcame all of that unfounded worry. You made peace with it and you rose above it. See how she rose above? This is the same as the 9 of swords. See how she rises above all of that? She made peace with all of it. And they're saying, remember. I love this. They're saying, remember remember your truth about this. Remember how free you felt when you made the decision, and how free you felt, and even how more productive you were when you walked in your own truth about this situation. that no, it's not about the hours you put in at work. It's about how productive you are when you're there. So it's like you found freedom in understanding that. You found freedom in your own truth, in your own worth, and in being able to um, in being able to balance and do what you needed to do, and still accomplish more than other people, and then leave it there and go home and love your family or love your friends, whatever that situation is. It was beautiful for you. Look at that. It's like you were like, wow, it was beautiful for you. So whenever this little mental conflict starts to come back in and you think to yourself, I still do it sometimes too. If I just do this, if I just do, stay another hour, stay another 2 hours, if I just, whatever, I'll be late, but that'll be okay. Whenever it's easy for us to get back into that workaholic type attitude. So it's saying, remember all that you let go. Again, you didn't slack on your job. You just let go of that mindset trying to make you think that you had to show up at work at 6 o'clock in the morning when you really didn't need to be there till 7, and you had to stay till 8 o'clock at night whenever you really got off at 6. Remind yourself of those things, that between 7 and 6, which is still a long day, but between 7 and 6, you could accomplish everything that you needed to accomplish. And whenever we can allow our families and our friends, either way, to understand their value, and ourselves, when we can allow ourselves to understand our value, we're more productive whenever we spend those hours at work. So in love, I have positive movement forward, right? So it goes back to that. I feel like I'm talking to somebody who's married or in a relationship or something, because of this right here that you've gone through, you have made some positive movement forward. And it's because you made a choice, right? Look at that. Those two cords. Can you see them? How free both of them are. It's the Page of Air and it's the Two of Air. The Two of Air is about making a choice, right? So they're saying in love, in your relationship that you're in, you already made the choice to be committed, right? So they're saying, this is I don't feel like this is a tower moment coming up, except that it could produce a tower again, because whenever you did this a while back, it could have been like somebody gave you an ultimatum, and it was either you work overtime, either you're gonna. I did that to my husband one time. The last husband that I was married to, we were married 23 years, and I basically told him that either you're gonna work 50 weeks out of the year traveling, never being home, or else you're going to have a family, one or the other. You're not going to have both. So it's like, so maybe you had some kind of ultimatum like that. But there was a tower, and I feel like this is just reminding you that there was a tower. There was a tower that caused you to make that choice. And it was the choice you made that allowed you to start moving forward, that positive movement forward. And again, during retrograde, sometimes those things come back up. And I feel like this is a whole story about that. And you're getting the Page of Earth. So the Page of Earth, and it's coming in kind of as your advice card. So it's reminding you to, have that creativeness again, about revisit that creativeness that you revisited whenever you made these decisions a while back. If this tendency to want to work overtime and spend time away from your family, when it, whatever that conflict is, whenever it tries to revisit you, go back to this creative, younger energy that thinks of ways to get it done without having to do that, because he's very resourceful, he's very determined and all that stuff, but look, he still wants to play, right? So you still want to be able to play with your family, you still want to play with yourself, to be able to go do the things that you enjoy in life. So it's saying, find that creative, resourceful determination of this young page, and reinstate that into your life, and play. And this is about love, and play in your relationship. Be creative and resourceful within your relationship too. Okay, so that's what Spirit says they want you to focus on during the Mercury retrograde. Now we're going to get the PS. Again, I started those little daily videos. If you hadn't seen them yet, go check them out. If you like them, hit that bell notification button. Do the like thing too. But hit the bell notification and let YouTube know that this is relevant content for you, and you'll know whenever I upload a new video. And if you don't like them, that's okay. You don't have to watch them. But check back in for your readings. God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, we thank you so much for Capricorn. We thank you for this reading to give them a roadmap of things that they could potentially come across during the retrograde. And we're looking for the PS. Show us the PS for Capricorn's Mercury retrograde reading. Okay. This is the left out in the cold. Everybody calls it the left out in the cold thing. And what I see is somebody walking away from tradition. Remember right over here, we talked about this conflict that you're having between having to choose between your work and your family, or your work and your friends, or your work and yourself. This is that root chakra. It's like you were told that you have to put in the hours. You were told that if you go in early and stay late, man, they're gonna promote you up the ranks faster than whatever. Or you were told, dude, if you're gonna open your own business, you gotta be married to it. But you're already married, or you're already in a relationship, or you don't want to be married to it, whatever. But it's a mental conflict for you. So this is where, again, walking away from those mindsets. I say this is like walking away from tradition, because this reminds me of like a stained glass window in a church. So, and I don't think it's about walking away from your church or anything like that. I feel like it's about walking away from those root chakra energies that we have, those foundational beliefs that we have growing up. About you got to go to work at 6 o'clock, even though you don't need to be there till 7, and you got to stay till 8, even though you get off at 6. That kind of stuff. I always said my mom was my greatest cheerleader, and my dad taught me all about work ethics, and he worked like that, and I worked like that my entire life. So I feel like that's what this is about, because that mental conflict is always there whenever we're trying to balance a family and work. So they're telling you, don't forget about divine timing. That you're only required to do your part. And then it's like step back and trust and let the universe do their part. It's kind of like whenever we plant a seed, right? We plant a seed in the ground to grow a tomato bush. I don't know if you really plant a seed to grow a tomato bush. I think you plant seeds to grow a tomato bush. Anyway, you plant a seed in the ground, right? So if you keep going back to that, where you plant that seed and digging it up and looking at it, and then covering it up again, and then go back and dig it up and look at it, and then cover it up again, and then go dig it up, add some water directly on the seed and cover it up again. You know, all you need to do to make it grow is go out there and water it every now and then the universe does the rest, right? That's what this card is about. It's about you understanding, and you know this. It's about you understanding that you're only required to do your part. You're only required to do your part, and the universe does the rest. And again, going above and beyond is admirable and noble, especially whenever you're helping a customer or whatever. But whenever you're doing it because you're scared that if you don't, you're not going to eat, then that's got a very huge lack mentality addressed or attached to it, and it could actually cause you to back up in your business or in your job instead of moving forward. So do your part, and remember that the universe does their part. It's about divine timing. It's about trust. And you have the Sun card. These things that you have recently implemented into your life, Capricorn, it has been exactly what you and the people that you love needed. And I want to say it has restored something within your family unit or within your friend group, or just within yourself. It's been very restorative for you. And they're wanting to remind you of that. So during Mercury retrograde, if any of these categories get revisited with the negative, go back and remember how beautiful it felt when you made that decision and you implemented your ideas and things were balanced. Okay, Capricorn. Thank you so much for stopping in. I can't wait to see you next time. And until then, have a super duper day. Bye.